Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Michelle's Garden. I'm Michelle. If you're new with me, welcome. I'm gardening in Western North Carolina, Zone 7B. And today, we're going to dig taters. If you live in the South, it's called digging taters. I'm trying to get things set up, get my wheelbarrow out into the garden so I can throw the tops of the potatoes that I don't use, the stems, I guess you would call them, throw them in the wheelbarrow, and I got another cart out there that I'll put the potatoes in. It's hot out here this morning. It is around 9:30 and it's probably about 87 degrees. I'm already sweating. I ain't even done anything yet. It's going to be 97 today, probably over 100 with the heat index. And pretty hot day. I'm not a early morning person. I don't know if you can see this, but I don't do mornings. That's a bad thing when you want to be a gardener or a farmer, is to not get up early in the morning. I was out here Monday. I was out here Monday at 7:30. I got out here and gave the garden some water and did some pruning on my tomato plants and some tying up. And my potatoes, they just desperately have to come out of the ground. I should have done it last week, but I wanted to do a video and show you guys how to harvest potatoes. So let me get my wheelbarrow out there and we will get started on digging taters. Before we go out to the garden, I want to show you guys something. We rent out our field to be mowed down for hay to a guy that lives in our neighborhood or close by our neighborhood. And he came out Monday and mowed the field, and he was telling me a story about when they cut the fields, the snakes will run. And he has chicken houses, and he was telling me how every year they find at least 3 or 4 rattlesnakes, and that just terrified me, because every time I come out here to the garden in this back building where I keep my garden supplies, I'm always looking for snakes, because we've killed a couple of copperheads on our property. I want to show you what the field looks like. This is our field. It's a little over 5 acres. Every once in a while we walk the field when it's cut down at the very end of our property. The people behind us, they have horses. Sometimes they'll come up to the fence. I don't know if you can see the haze way out there at the mountains. That just lets you know how hot it is. It's considerably hot, very humid here in North Carolina, Western North Carolina. Okay, so let's get on out to the garden and get these taters dug up. Okay guys, so ideally you would want a pitchfork, like a small pitchfork, and you would want to go up under the potatoes and just kind of lift them up out of the dirt and then kind of pull them out. But I'm going to pull these out by hand because I don't have a little pitchfork. I got a big one, but I'm just going to pull these out by hand and show you how I dig taters. I'm going to show you what they look like to let you know how and when to harvest them. Okay, I don't know if you can see how these potatoes, the stems, as you would call them, they're falling over. They look dead when they're really green and standing up tall and everything. Sometimes they will flower. Mine did last year. They would flower. And as soon as they flowered, then they started dying off and falling. And that's when I knew the potatoes were ready. Some of these you can actually see the potatoes sticking up out of the ground. So I really need to get them up. So I'm going to sit you guys down and let you watch how I pull these potatoes out of the ground. Okay guys, I did decide to stop a minute so I can bring you along so you can see up close what I'm doing. Just in case you want to see the process up close. Let me show you this in the ground. So here's the potato stems. I'm just pulling it. And look at those potatoes that come out of there. Isn't that awesome? Sometimes you can miss a few. But, you know, just dig down in there. I'll give you guys a little bit of history about potatoes. Let's see if I can set you up here while I'm digging and talking. I was reading up on potatoes. I like to know the history of my food. And potatoes originated in Peru, and they were brought to Europe by the Spanish people. The Spanish explorers brought them over. They eventually introduced them to the English people, and it was a British governor who was in the Bahamas who introduced the potato to a governor of Virginia, and that's how we got them. It was the colony of Virginia. That's how we got them over here. And eventually, Thomas Jefferson, he served them in the White House to his guests. And they took off from there, especially with the Irish people. That's where we get Irish potatoes. Really took off with the Irish immigrants. And potatoes have every nutrient, every vital nutrient that we need to our bodies except for calcium, vitamin A, and vitamin D. So everybody that says, oh, I gotta stay away from potatoes because of the starches in them or the carbohydrates, potatoes are good for us. And they're very easy to grow. I bought these as seed potatoes at Tractor Supply, and all I did was put them in the ground. And I think I put these in the ground in March, and 3 times they came up, and the stems or the flower, just like this leafy part here, the frost got them because our weather has been so crazy. And all I did was take a pair of snippers and snip those off to the ground and push the dirt back up over them. And they came right back up. And as soon as the weather was, you know, no more frost or whatever, these babies grew. They turned out really well. As far as watering these, I didn't even hardly water them that much. You know, I mostly counted on what rain we got. I don't have any kind of irrigation running to my potatoes. I have irrigation running to a lot of my other crops. But potatoes are just super easy to grow. And I just really encourage everybody to grow them. They're fun to grow. Be fun for kids to grow potatoes and dig them up. The reason why they tell you to maybe use a pitchfork to get under these is because it's really easy to miss a potato. You can miss a really big potato and it'll lay there all year till next year. But you could take your seed potatoes and you can quarter them and let them sit for a couple of days and scab over, and then you would get you know, a bigger crop. I don't do that. I buy my seed potatoes in a bag and I stick the whole potato in the ground. And this, I think, was just 1 bag of potatoes. As soon as I finish digging all these up, I'm going to show you how much of a crop I got out of that. And I'm almost at the end here. This is a whole lot of potatoes. Last year I planted red, white, and blue. The potato almost looks purple. And I'll show you that. I dug some of those up yesterday, and I didn't plant any of those this year, but there was some left in the ground. Like, I mean, you could miss a little tiny potato like that, and next year it'll grow and you'll have potatoes. almost to the end here, guys. All of these wonderful, wonderful potatoes. Nothing like a can of fried potatoes or a good old pot of mashed potatoes. Put them in your stew. What I'd really like to do is to learn how to can potatoes. I have never done that, but I'm going to figure out how. This is really awesome. I wasn't expecting this many. I chose to grow them in a different spot this year and got tons. Really cool. Really cool. There's nothing more pleasing than to have your own food that you grew on your table. I mean, I just think that's a wonderful feeling. But, you know, bring the kids out. Have them help you dig taters. It'd be almost like Easter egg hunting. You pull the vines and you let them dig the taters. Pretty cool. Okay, guys, I'm just about at the end here. And I'm going to show you the potato crop that I got for this year. Seems like every time I think I got the last one, there's another one. I'm gonna make sure I get them all. If I don't, I'll just be extra for next year. Okay, just about done here. There's a couple more. Get down inside here. All right. Oh, one more. One more, one more, one more. All right, guys. Let me turn you around here and show you what we got. Get over here at the end of the row so you guys can see this. Is that awesome or what? Man, that's a load of potatoes. That is a load of potatoes. Now I got to load all these up in my little cart. Let them dry out. Let these lay out for a couple of days and dry out. The skins will get a little bit harder on them. Don't wash the dirt off of them. You want to leave the dirt on them. And these, guys, are the blue or purple potatoes I was telling you about that came up from last year, and a few red ones there. Okay, guys, it's hot and I'm out of breath, but that's my video for today. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of history on potatoes, and I hope this encourages you to grow your own potatoes. So have fun digging taters today. See you guys later.